Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 7, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for episode 14 for this season, otherwise entitled Rayo de Luz, or Luz. I'm not too sure how to pronounce the last word, but I know it's Spanish and it translates to light ray, I think it translates to, so yeah. But of course, before we talk about anything in regards to this trailer and episode, let's watch the actual trailer.
I'm gonna find my cousin.
Ultraviolet? As in the meta assassin that tries to kill you every time she sees you?
If I can get through to her, maybe we can be a family again. We're the big guns, Barry's off the grid. This is Team Flash. Well, that's reassuring.
So last episode was obviously a big episode for Cecile as we dived into her mental prison and learned more about her history and everything like that. Also, Chester got a bit of a lesson in regards to how to deal with Team Flash activities and that type of stuff. And of course, we did have Joe sort of revealing more and more about what's actually going on with Kristen Kramer, which will continue on into this episode as well. But yeah, that was pretty much the end of the episode. Didn't really have any sort of big cliffhanger that we would necessarily want. But before we jump into the actual break or just discussion around this trailer and breakdown, everything like that, we will quickly read out the synopsis or description for the episode, as it does give us a bit more context to the episode and some other stuff that's happening that isn't revealed in the trailer. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know general thoughts, opinions, predictions, and stuff you're looking forward to from this episode. If you want to leave that down there in the comment section down below, would be awesome if you could do that. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and everything like that, just want to show your support, I want to drop a like on the video to show your support and everything like that. When Ultraviolet returns to Central City, Allegra is determined to find her cousin and change her heart. Meanwhile, Joe finds evidence that Kristen Kramer may not be the good cop she appears to be. So first off, the first thing I need to say is that this episode is directed by Danielle Panabaker, who plays Caitlin. So that's why she wasn't in last episode that much. Like, she's pretty much just in Starlab scenes, very contained. And she won't be in this episode much either. She's in the trailer, we see her for one little bit, but expect like 1 or 2 scenes with her. Just because when someone's directing, they're not in a lot of the episode. We've seen that across all the different shows, whether it's Arrowverse related or other stuff as well. So yeah, don't expect her much outside of like 1 or 2 things. Now, the next thing, I think I just have to say this. I'm better off saying it because I know people are going to say it in the comments below as well, or potentially say it, or be thinking it, or say something, but in a bit more of a meanish and rude tone. It is concerning that we are having another filler episode. And I don't think this is a bad filler episode, and I'll say why I think that after. However, it is concerning that we're in the 5th last episode of the season. There's only 4 more episodes after this one. It's pretty insane to think that, because it feels like we only just had the finale for that 4th storyline thing. But we're only got 4 episodes after this one, and we still haven't started the storyline that is supposed to finish the season off with like big battle at the end, finale stuff. We haven't even started it, let alone planted a seed. We don't even know what's going on. So it's important to remember that the second last episode of this season is the 150th episode for The Flash, which will feature the debut of Bart Allen, aka Impulse, as well as the return of Jay Garrick and XS to the show. These early episodes in this back half should have set up a lot so they can have that free time in that later episode and only use a bit of it to set up the finale. They could spend 3/4 to 80% of that episode having fought with Bart and Jay and XS, and then just plant a seed was like, okay, well, this is what's happening in the finale, and then we can have a action-packed finale. The Goodbye Cisco episode we had last week, 2 episodes ago, but last week, having that was understandable. We need an episode like that if Cisco was leaving the show. However, it is a concern we aren't going to have many episodes of actual story, like season story, in this back half. Unless they're using it to create something super awesome for the first half of season 8, I don't think many people are going to be applauding this from the rooftops in regards to how it ends, or at least the first half of this back half. However, I'll never judge something until I've seen something, until it completely play out and I get to feast my eyes on it. So hopefully they are able to pull it off, and maybe the final 4 episodes of this season knock it out of the park. It probably won't make up for the fact that we got 2 to 3 filler episodes in the row, but if they pull it off in the back half, we get 4 awesome episodes in a row, then you know what? It evens out, and I think most of us will be happy heading into season 8. Now, in regards to why I said, like, while this is a filler episode unrelated to anything outside of it, it's still not a bad filler. It's actually fairly important. That's because it's about Allegra. And some of you might be like, what's this dude talking about? Look at this kid. What's he talking about? Allegra is a part of Team Flash, and you could count on like half a hand, someone that's put their hand in like a meat grinder or something, and then you have half left. You could count on that, half a hand, the amount of cool or interesting things or just okay things involving this character. She is pretty much a background character at the moment who is somehow a part of both Team Flash and Team Citizen. She needs some development and focus more than any other character that has ever existed on any show in the Arrowverse. This is not a lie. Think about it. I can't think of any other character on any of the other shows who is made to seem not necessarily important. I don't want to say important, but like have such a large role on the show, but still have nothing there. It's like having a pastry with nothing in, like a pie, and then you lift the lid on the pie and there's nothing in there. Just like where's the filling? There's nothing here. Where's the story? The story can be the filling. There's nothing there. I can't think of any other character on any other show that fills that void. I can't. So this episode hopefully does well in regards to that and making us want to like and care and just find Allegra interesting and just give us a reason to care in general. Just give us a reason to care. She is a part of the show because Eric Wallace, the showrunner for The Flash, created her in the comics. Like, I think that's it. He created the character for the Titans comics when he was writing them, and I solely believe that's the only reason she's on the show. I can't think of any other reason as to why they would want Allegra. Not just nothing against the actress at all. It has to do with the writing and just the character itself as it is. That's the only reason you'd have her on the show is because you created her. I'd probably want to be, if I created this character or a character, I'd probably want to put them in a show that I'm showrunning as well. I completely understand that, but I am hoping, as well as wishing, as well as just believing that this episode will make us want to care about Allegra as a character, just even in the slightest about her, as much as Eric Wallace does. Fingers crossed. As I said, I won't judge something until I've seen it, but I've just really hope so. But anyway, after that like 5, 6, potentially 7-minute babble-thon that I just felt I need to get out there. I'm better off just saying all in one go rather than like, just sprinkling it over different things. So let's talk about this goddamn fracking trailer itself. I said fracking. YouTube, no censorship. Anyway, so Allegra, as we see in the beginning, Allegra wants to track down her cousin who is Ultraviolet, aka Esperanza, who we of course met last season. It feels like it was so long ago because of COVID and everything, but we met her in season 6 and she was like a mercenary, I guess you would call it, for Black Hole. Now, at another point in the trailer, they talk about, or might I say Allegra talks about, how if she can get through to Ultraviolet or Esperanza, then they can be finally be a family again. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the central plot, like she is only tracking her down to see if they can be a family again, or if that is something after and just another reason. I'm curious as to whether there is a larger reason for wanting to find her, because nothing has been set up in the previous episodes to send us down that road again. But it could be argued maybe due to like losing Nash. She feels that any family connection is a good connection, or something along those lines. Try and mend a broken relationship rather than just ignoring it. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. Now, the main goal of this episode, as I said, is to make us care about Allegra. It's an Allegra-based episode. If they don't do it here, they'll never do it. And basing it around family isn't a bad idea. I do know that Ultraviolet is in the episode after this one as well, episode 15, which will feature the army of Godspeeds coming into Central City. So I don't know if that means Ultraviolet starts to help Team Flash, or just the Allegra main story from this episode continues over to be like a side story for next episode alongside the Godspeed one. I don't know. I just know that she's meant to be in the next episode after this one. But yeah, as we see in the trailer, Sue Dearborn sticks around for this episode, which isn't a surprise, as she said she was staying around in Central City for a bit more at the end of last episode. Now, it appears that she's helping out Allegra in whatever shenanigans she gets up to in this episode. It seems that Ultraviolet might be caught up in like another crime establishment or group or another offshoot of Black Hole or something like that, because she is surrounded by these guys in like a black getup when Sue arrives to help in this like warehouse thing. I'm not too sure exactly what's going on. It just looks criminal based. Yeah. But the big thing, this is the big thing, and I think a lot of people should know this going to this episode, even though the trailer sort of gives it away. There's no Barry or Iris in this episode. They are on vacation, I think it is this episode, like Chester suggested last episode, towards the end of it. So you do see Barry speed off in this trailer, and I think that's the only scene in this episode you get of Barry. So it seems this episode takes place over like a day or two based off what we can see in the trailer. So it would be weird if they came back at the end. Like, who goes on a vacation for one day? Like, no one. So it's a very Chester and Allegra episode by the looks of it for the main story. So no Barry, no Iris, and little to no Caitlin, aka Danielle Panabaker, because she's directing, so she'll have limited scenes. So this could, and then obviously Cisco's left the show. So this could be a very, very, very interesting episode in regards to reaction from viewers, as it will be just from the base of it, and it could potentially feel like the less flashy episode, I think it's the best way to put it, they've ever done, possibly. Because Barry, Iris, Cisco, there's no Wells, and there's little to no Caitlin. She's going to have like 1 or 2 scenes potentially. So prepare yourselves. I think it's going to be interesting to watch just based off that. Just based off that, I think this is going to be an interesting episode to watch. Now, the Joe storyline, as the synopsis does continue. Though Kristen Kramer was only mentioned last episode in conversation with Joe and Cecile, I'm pretty sure she appears in this episode, and that storyline will probably start to heat up. And I'm sure there'll be some tension between Joe and Kristen if they do come face to face. But the big thing is that, as I said, Godspeed and his army, or the army of Godspeed, show up next episode after this one. So will the end credits for this episode show Godspeed coming into Central City or showing up, or will it tease it, or just something related to it? I hope so, because that will definitely spice up the episode a bit more. We're going to get that towards the end, or at least even in parts of the episode as well. So we'll have to wait and see. There is no promo images at this stage. If there were, I put them in the video. We'll probably get them tomorrow or the day after, something like that. But we haven't got them as of yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it to talk about. So if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions about this episode. Are you concerned heading into it, or are you intrigued because of the fact it's going to feel like not going to feel like The Flash at all? Or does that worry you? Let me know your various opinions. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.